Welcome back to This Cozy Life, friends. I'm Nadia. I'm so happy you're here. I have been itching for a slow day between my new work schedule and back to school. I have just been craving the slowness of the morning and just the slowness without having to go from thing to thing. And so I am starting off my morning by reading my Bible. I wish I could say that I have been diligently reading my Bible every morning, but since the change in my schedule, I have just not had the time to add it to my routine. So I am making it a priority this morning and hoping to incorporate it back into my mornings as opposed to my nights. But once I finish up reading my Bible, I wanted to make my kids some pumpkin pancakes. And so I just whipped up this recipe that I found on Google, and they came out really, really yummy. I did substitute a couple of things because I didn't have some stuff, but they came out so good and my kids loved them. And as I was making the pancakes, I was just meditating on what I read today in Galatians 3, where Galatians 3:17 says, "And whatever you do in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him." And I was just reminded of his love and his mercy and his grace, and thanking him for my life and my family and the ability to get to have a slow morning today and just doing everything for him. After breakfast, I went to our bedroom and opened up the curtains and just wanted to tidy up our room and do the bed. And again, I wanted to have a slow day, and so this was a couple of hours after waking up. And so I got the bed done and then I got myself ready. We don't have anything planned for today, but I did want to get dressed and put myself together. While I was making my bed, the sun started to rise and it was just so beautiful and such a beautiful reminder that the Lord's mercies are new every morning. And I just took in the beautiful sunshine, the beautiful light coming in through the windows, and made my way over to our coffee bar. I haven't been drinking coffee first thing in the morning. I like to have coffee after breakfast because coffee on an empty stomach for me is just not fun. So I made myself a pumpkin spiced latte and it was divine. It truly was just a treat for my morning. And I really got to enjoy the process of making coffee because, again, my mornings are now filled with items that I have to do before a certain time. It is more rushed, it is more fast-paced. So getting the time to make my morning coffee was just such a joy. My daughter had been asking me to make a fall craft with her, so we didn't do anything fancy. We just got some orange, black, and brown paper and we made little pumpkins. We had so much fun doing this. It was not anything extravagant. It wasn't costly. We had all of the things at home and on hand. and she really enjoyed it. And I just love getting to do little crafts with her and spend that one-on-one time now that she's in school. And they just made for the perfect fall decorations for this little area. And I think that they just came out so sweet and so cute. And I highly recommend doing a simple craft like this. It took all of 15 minutes, but it definitely was so fun. I've also been itching to go thrifting, so I grabbed my family and we hopped into the car and went over to our local thrift store. And oh my goodness, they had so many cute fall things at this first thrift store. I loved so many little things. I, for some reason, was drawn to the little scarecrow. They're so whimsical and sweet, and I just adored them. But I love just looking at what's at the thrift store. I always like to see what florals they have, what little knickknacks they have, and this little family of bears was adorable. I almost picked them up, but I just resisted because I wouldn't know where to put them. And then we made our way over to the Goodwill as well, and I looked through all of the linens, tried to find some fall stuff, but this thrift store was pretty scarce on the fall decor. I did find a few baskets that I thought were cute, but they were kind of dinged up, so I decided to pass. And then I found this super cute little doll table and chair, but it was pretty beat up. And so I just decided to pass on it for the time being, but it was a fun find. And then we made our way over to Hobby Lobby. I have been itching again to just go see what's in store, to go browse the aisles. But I just wanted to note that there is so much pressure around this time of the year to buy and to spend money. But I just want to remind you that you do not need to buy all of the things to have a beautiful season, a beautiful fall, a beautiful winter even. I actually didn't end up buying anything from either the thrift stores or from Hobby Lobby, so let this be your reminder. I ended up turning our slow, cozy day into a slow and cozy weekend and woke up on Sunday with the intention to make Pop-Tarts. My kids have been obsessed with Pop-Tarts since they had their first taste at church of a Pop-Tart, and we have been on the hunt for a healthier alternative to Pop-Tarts, but just haven't found anything that we like. So I decided to try my hand at it and whipped up this recipe that I found on Google. I'll have it linked below because it was really yummy. And so I had to put the flour into a bowl and then had to go in and cut up cold butter. I had to cube it. And I've never done this technique before, but you have to put it into the bowl and essentially pulverize it or get it to be grainy and small by squishing it between your hands. And so it was an interesting baking technique that I've not yet done. And then I had to welt the center and add iced cold water, which was just so interesting again, and that created the dough for the Pop-Tarts. Then I had to go in and divide the dough in half and have it refrigerate for over 2 hours. So I popped that in, we went to church, and then when we came home, the dough was ready to get started on. once we got home from church, I started on the filling for the Pop-Tarts. I wanted to do a pumpkin Pop-Tart for the fall season. And oh my goodness, guys, this filling was delicious. It was just pumpkin puree with a little bit of brown sugar and some pumpkin spice. I have ours from Trader Joe's and a little bit of vanilla. Mix that together and it just was the star of the show. It was delicious. And then I went and lined up a couple of baking sheets with some parchment paper and got started rolling out our dough that was chilling in the refrigerator for a few hours. This was actually a very cumbersome project. It was a lot more work than I had anticipated, just rolling and re-rolling and trying to get the perfect size of the dough. It was a lot of work. It was definitely a labor of love, but I had so much fun. And I wanted to make these little ghost and pumpkin cutouts for our dough, for our Pop-Tarts. And I'm so happy that we did because it was just so festive and just a fun representation of the fall season approaching. And I just went in and filled all of the dough and used a fork to seal it together. Then I went in with an egg wash and just doused each Pop-Tart with it and popped them into the oven. After about 40 minutes, they were ready. And I drizzled an icing recipe that came with this Pop-Tart recipe, and they were so delicious. My kids loved them, my husband loved them. I definitely would make these again. It is a lot of work, so be warned, but it definitely was worth the time and labor. All that being said, I had a beautiful, restful weekend filled with cozy, slow days. My heart has been longing for this, and I'm so thankful for the time that I took to dedicate to just slowing down. Thank you so much for joining me today as we made crafts, made coffee, read our Bibles, enjoyed the start of the fall season. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely rest of your week, and I will see you in my next video.